defeated Tear as a middleweight champion Pride, and it's just like a lot of those Pride guys did not transition well over to.
Okay, wait. Can you tell me what it is first so I can send it to my mom?
I'll put it in our group chat.
When we was watching y'all, it was funny. Because here go Coach. He was over here like this.
There was an interview and the other does doing the other.
I know we heard it. I heard it. And then when y'all went to like break or whatever, we seen everything y'all did. I was like,
Oh.
And the voices you hear right now, those are the voices of the 2017 Lady Cougar Columbus State basketball team. This is another special edition of Let That Sink In. So that's the name of the show, guys. Let That Sink In. Just let them in. It's a sink. It's really nice. Let them sink in. So it's a pleasure to have in studio Coach Byron Allgood. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on?
And your new 2017 basketball team. So could you just quickly take us around the room and introduce everyone for those watching on YouTube right now and such?
All right here is our center, Lyric Easley from Mifflin. Over here with the hat on is T. Shepard. Over here with the green shirt on is Savannah Blackwell from Akron Firestone. Right here with the Beat Canal shirt on is Caitlin Young from Groveport. And over here on the far end is Destiny Wooten transferring in and coming back home to play in Columbus for Columbus State. And back over there in the corner, we have Coach Deb Maldonado, the wise one.
What's going on, Coach Deb? How you doing? All right, so we're just trying to get things going. Why do I sound like I'm in a tunnel somewhere? That's interesting. I think it's a little bit too much kickback on this. All right, let's get things going. And right now, we're just going to warm up and do some talking and do some things. I know we had the questions for you, Coach Allgood, that were scheduled for the next segment, but we're going to get right into it just so we can break the ice.
All right.
And so I would like to know, at which point did you realize that you wanted to coach basketball, Coach?
Really, early on, it was those seeds planted. Like during AAU and during like elementary ball, my coaches were always like, you just think about the game, you think about what's going to happen next, you think why stuff is happening. So I kept hearing, you're going to coach one day. But, you know, when you're young, you're not trying to hear that. You're like, man, I'm going to be a player. I'm trying to hoop. I'm trying to go to the NBA. But as I got older, I started thinking more about making a difference and giving back. So probably around like high school, right before college, I knew I was going to be a coach, either football or basketball. Early on, I actually did coach football my first year out of college.
And what happened with that?
I just decided it was too much time commitment at the time. That was right before I got married, so the fiance wasn't too happy with me being gone all the time. So we kind of made that choice to just stick with basketball.
So what makes football more of a coaching or a time commitment than basketball?
Well, during football season, the situation I was in, I was coaching middle school. All the middle school coaches, you had to do your team and do all the coaching duties for that. And then also varsity, you either had to travel and scout or you had to stay at the home games and do the film up in the booth on a high little ladder thing. So I was going – my Fridays, I wasn't getting home to like sometimes 2:30 in the morning. So just that extra duty that you had to do being a middle school coach at that time.
All right, I feel it. So that makes sense. Transition to basketball. In terms of your playing career, and you said, you know, and I feel it too, like you always want to be a player until you can't be a player anymore. But at some point, like you said, sometimes you don't grow as much as you thought you would, and things of that nature.
Yep.
I'm sure if you were 6'5", 6'6", your decision-making might have been a little different.
Probably.
But you made that decision. How was it? Like, what was the moment? I guess that's the question. What was the like moment when you were like, okay, I'm not going to be a player. I got to do something else.
Probably my sophomore season in high school.
Oh, wow.
I tore up both shoulders in a football game.
Okay.
And it was just like a domino effect of injuries from that after I recovered from that. So I was like, yeah, I need to stick with this education and get on the coaching side. So probably my sophomore year in high school.
Okay. And I see you got Spurs cap on.
Oh, yeah.
Big time Spurs fan.
Go Spurs, go. Yep. Yep.
Let's go Lakers.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. One thing that a lot of people in the basketball world admire about the Spurs organization is that when it comes to coaching, they don't discriminate. They do have Becky Hammond coaching. She coaches their summer league team. She's a high-level coach within their organization. In terms of that, do you foresee a woman being a coach in the NBA at some point?
I do think so. I think somebody would set the tone and give a woman an opportunity. I do see that. As you see, they already let women referee when we never thought that would happen. So I think somebody will get their shot probably within the next 10 years, I would guess.
Definitely. And it doesn't hurt that she's been a very successful coach within the Spurs organization.
Yep.
That being said, and all that being established, you're the coach of the women's team at Columbus State. How did that come about as opposed to being a men's coach?
I actually coached men's high school basketball for a number of years.
Okay.
And then just a couple years ago, I was like, I need to transition into something different. And just this opportunity at Columbus State opened up. I got wind of it. A couple of people was like, man, just throw your name in the hat, see what happens.
Yeah, so what happened? Like, how did you end up throwing your name in the hat for this?
I threw my name in the hat. Like I said, some people at Columbus State knew that it was going to be opening up, and they're like, the program needs a little boost.
Okay.
And I boosted the high school program where I was at. I basically started from scratch and kind of made it a little relevant again. So they're like, we think you would do a good job coaching the women, and also just having a daughter a couple of years ago.
Absolutely, have two
it
daughters.
Just made me more sensitive and
it does
towards women, and
it does.
And I just see I'll treat these girls as
like
if they're
your
my daughter. So
right.
I just thought stuff was aligning up for me to take a shot at it, and I mean, I thank God that it happened. It was in His will for me to be here in this position right now. So
okay, now we have about 2 more minutes to go in this first segment. I want to talk to everyone else in the room, the players.
Okay.
What up?
I want to know, and this is just a general question. What do you guys think of Coach Allgood?
Be honest.
Be honest.
So y'all
He
can
seems
round.
like a very chill coach, but a very serious one. A coach that you can come to about anything, but still a coach that's about his business and about winning.
Yeah, he's determined to make us better from where he first saw us in the gym, and he already knows where he wants us to progress and how fast we can progress. Like, I've already progressed with my ball handling skills 10 times better than I came in with.
What kind of things has he done to help you improve your ball handling?
Well, when I would
Basically, like, he just takes the time and effort on each one of us, and it's not like somebody's better than the next. Like, he takes his time with each one of us and knows what our strengths and our weaknesses, and then he strengthens both of them. So it's not just focusing on our weak points, but making our strong points better than what they was.
All right, now, T, this is a special question for you since we are talking about ball handling, and you said when we talked earlier that you model your game after your dad, right?
Yeah.
How are his handles?
Oh, he could beat you.
Ooh.
You.
That's a joke.
Oh.
What if I'm like LeVar Ball? You know what I'm saying? Like,
can
and
beat him
extremely
too.
skilled.
He
He could be
No,
him too.
LeVar Ball, he never lost.
Oh, he could be his dad too. I mean,
LeVar Ball's a scrub.
yeah.
All balls are scrubbed? Wow. Laker haters. Man, shots fired on that note. Yeah, well, he's watching right now. I sent him a message. He's tuning in. We're going to go ahead and take a break. But when we come back, more questions from the team. So stay with us as I actually do this correctly. And more after the break.
This is Reflog 18, and you are listening to Score on Air.
Nasty's Sports Bar in Reynoldsburg is under new management. Located at 6150 East Main Street, the home for Taco Tuesday is rejuvenated and the home for great food and family fun. Nasty's Sports Bar is a great place for happy hour, serving $2 domestics, $3 glasses of wine, and $5 appetizers, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 614-864-2827 to find out the daily specials. Nasty's. Great food, family fun, with a cool name.
Listen to scoreonair.com for your chance to win. Every Friday, we will be giving away a prize pack, and here's how you can qualify. Send us a message with your name, phone number, email, and date of birth to our Facebook or Twitter accounts. Just search Your Score on Air, or you can call or text any of our live shows at 614-641-0674 and tell them you want to win. It's that easy. A new winner will be selected every Friday at 7 p.m. This is your home for the new generation of sports talk radio and weekly prize giveaways. ScoreOnAir.com. The Score.
I'm Jake Safranco with your Sports Doc Minute, brought to you by the OHSAA and the Ohio Media School. Now here's the Sports Doc, Dr. Chris Stankovich.
Does your son or daughter struggle with nerves when it comes to competing in sports? If so, it's important to know that this is perfectly normal. In fact, professional athletes struggle with the very same anxieties that your son or daughter does while competing. Nerves are a result largely because of cognitive appraisals, and what that means is how we perceive things often dictates how our bodies will respond. You might want to think of this as fight or flight. In fact, when I work with athletes, I ask them, do they view pressure situations as challenges or do they see them as threats? If they view them as challenges, they often gain confidence, sharpen their focus, and become even more motivated to succeed. But if they see the situation as threatening, that's when anxiety creeps in and usually compounds matters. So it's important that you look at skills that can help, including deep breathing, using imagery, and reminding your child of the importance of positive self-talk.
This has been your Sports Doc Minute, brought to you by the OHSAA and the Ohio Media School. Enrolling now, visit BeOnAir.com.
Are you ready? The Ohio Media School presents the inaugural Mastermind Exhibition, Thursday, August 17th, 2017, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. This year's theme is BYOA, Bring Your Own Audience. As a media professional or someone aspiring to be one, you don't want to miss the 3 breakout sessions at Mastermind Exhibition, led by top-notch media professionals that will teach you how to digitize your brand, entertain your audience, and find your audience. For more information and to RSVP for this free event, call 614-655-5250 and follow us on all social media platforms. Act now, seats are limited.
Matty Ice here, proud alum of the Ohio Media School. Are you looking for a new career? Not just a job, but a fulfilling career? If you want to work in media, radio, television, sports broadcasting, or film and video production, you need to check out the Ohio Media School's Columbus campus today. Their updated radio and television broadcasting program will even have you ready to work in a field you'll love in just 8 months. Stop by the Ohio Media School's audio and video studios today to see it for yourself. Visit beonair.com. That's beonair.com.
And we're back. Ooh.
We not live.
With more of the most compelling interview that you have heard in 2017. The 2017 Lady Cougar basketball team in studio. And enough with Coach Allgood. We've had you bore us with your stories about all kinds of things that happened millions of years ago, even though we're about the same age.
Man. I thought it was interesting. Thank you.
See, there you go. See,
thank you.
They're very supportive.
They got my back.
That's right. Don't let me bring Coach down. So, got some questions for everyone. So, Savannah, Lonzo Ball or Markelle Fultz, and why?
Markelle Fultz.
Why?
Well, I really don't watch basketball, but I watch some of his highlight tapes, and he's a really good defensive player.
Okay, all right. From a point guard position and playing defense, what do you focus on when you're out there as a defender from the point guard position, Savannah?
I just make sure I'm watching like their stomach wise and try to stay low, keep my feet on the move, and my head on a swivel.
What do you think about that, Coach Allgood?
Perfect.
That's exactly how it's coached up?
That's why we have her in here with us. See, a guru on the defensive end.
All right. Well, speaking of defense, Lyric. Big shot blocker, center, rebounder. I've seen you play at Mifflin just a little bit, a few games. And my question for you, regardless of your level of experience with these players, Brittany Griner or Tina Charles, and why?
Brittany Griner. Because, Tina is aggressive too, but Brittany, she's real aggressive in the paint. And I feel like I could play at her level sometimes.
All right. Now, I will ask this. Are you familiar with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
No.
Really? All right. Well, and that's why I asked you these questions, because these days the game is changing just a little bit. However, being tall is always good in basketball, and it will always be an advantage because in the fourth quarter, legs get tired and jump shots don't fall. Therefore, it's good to have someone who can rebound the basketball, who can defend the rim. It helps the team win championships as opposed to games. And so it's my desire to not let mainstream media brainwash people into telling them that centers don't matter, because they do. And Lyric, you matter. Because last season, and back me up, Coach Allgood, Kavana Davis playing center was the linchpin in the heart and soul of that team.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. That's how you finish defensive stops. You have to rebound the ball. You can shadow the ball, make them pass, make them put up crazy shots. But if you can't rebound the ball, if you're not a big aggressive rebounder, it kind of doesn't matter what you do the rest of the shot clock or before the shot. Just rebounding the ball and protecting the paint. Kivana was a beast at that, and like sometimes she single-handedly put us back in games or helped us get over the hump to win games.
Absolutely. And so as a post player, one thing that, again, is a tip, and last year I was in Carly's ear a lot. You guys might not have known this, but I was in her ear about a few things, just some tips and just different things. I want to help the team. I want the team to win. Mm-hmm. And so what I would say from what I've seen from you, Lyric, is you have a nice pair of soft hands, but it's important to use both feet when you're in the post. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean by that?
Like when I do a drop step, I can do it with my left and right foot instead of just my right foot.
This is true. But also in terms of using both feet to establish position. Because and I ask about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because there's a book that I like to read. It's called the NBA Coach's Handbook. And there's a chapter in there about post play that's written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Pick it up if you can. It's a lot of good knowledge. One thing that he does talk about in there is it's about establishing post position isn't from the waist up, but more from the waist down. Mm-hmm. And that's what Kavana she did a great job of carving out space with her lower half while keeping her upper half free to grab rebounds and do whatever she needed to do. Right, Coach?
Yep. That's why we got you in there doing those squats. Getting that lower base strong, baby girl. Get that lower base strong and root people out the way. You have the advantage.
Because, Coach, you said something that I really liked earlier, that you don't want to just win games. You want to dominate.
Yep.
And so, Lyric, we're looking at you for that on the inside. So let's move to the wing a little bit. Destiny. Where you at, Destiny?
What's up?
Your hair looks fantastic, by the way.
I did it myself. If anybody wants to hear it.
Hit her up. I mean, is there like a number? You can shout out anything you want. You know, we're on the radio right now.
Shout my number out, but you can follow me on Snap at Baby D with 4 A's.
Go ahead and say that again.
Follow me on Snap at Baby D with 4 A's.
Anybody else got any shout outs right now? You can do what you got to do.
And to my mom, Star Brown.
All right. Well, Destiny, we got into a little bit of a discussion about this earlier, but I want to hear what you have to say nonetheless. Diana Taurasi or Maya Moore, and why?
I would honestly say that they're both really great players. I know more about Maya Moore just because she's a little bit more my time, but I've learned a little bit about Diana Taurasi, and I think I pick her just because she's one of the all-time scorers, and that's what I want to do. Even though I feel like I'm more of a defensive player, but like I really like to score because I didn't get to do it a lot as my seasons have gone on. And I just admire the way that both of them play the game and their work ethics towards the game.
Wow. So why didn't you get to score a whole lot previously?
I had took a transition from playing like soccer to basketball really quickly. And so I was a little bit faster on my feet than I was with my hands. So I didn't get the ball as much, and I wasn't confident in myself enough to want to score. So I just took it upon myself to just play defense. But as time went on, and as I played at my first college, like I just learned that I could score as much as anybody else if I wanted it as bad.
You just mentioned your first college? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What was it? Where was that?
Oh, I played at Point Park in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And so what kind of experience was that for you?
It wasn't the best experience. I had some difficulties with my coach, even though he was a good coach. Truthfully, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm just happy at where I'm at and where I'm going with this team, and I just want to see as far as we can go as a team here and as a family.
Well, it sounds as though it built some character. What types of things have you done on the practice court to transition from being more of a defensive player to a scorer?
Well, truthfully, I did a lot of like AAU, and I do have different personal trainers that help me do a lot of things. I've had the same trainer actually since I was about like 11. I went from a post player to a guard now, which is a really big transition because I'm not that big. So I've just had to learn how to.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'8". I think it's pretty short.
That's pretty tall for.
I guess it's pretty tall.
It is.
I mean, definitely.
It's taller than some people in this room.
I don't know. Like, I definitely. I would just say, like, I'm a big rebounder. And I have a lot of power when it comes to being down there in the paint. Uh-huh. But if you ask me to shoot the ball, I'm shooting it. And, like, I'm confident in my shot and what I can do with the ball. But I had to work on my dribbling skills because I was bad with that. My feet move a lot faster than my hands, so I had to learn how to slow down my feet, make my mind move a lot faster, and get my hands at the same pace.
That's outstanding self-awareness on your part. It sounds as though your self-awareness is going to be a major asset to the team, and your ability to communicate verbally is something that's going to be very helpful out there, particularly on the defensive end of the floor. Wow. Destiny, welcome to Columbus State.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you had such a bad experience in Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. It's our game.
Me too.
And so, let's see. Now, the room is a little bit more crowded. I only had a few questions. So now we're just going to talk. We're going to talk what's going on in the NBA because that's what's hot right now. And like we talked about earlier, that's what everybody watches. And so there was this NBA free agency right now, and teams are gearing up. There's a lot of big questions. The biggest one, I think, right now is in Houston. They made a big trade. They brought in Chris Paul to pair up with James Harden. Is that going to work?
Yes, it is.
Why would that work?
I think it's going to work because they needed a better point guard. I felt like.
Are you serious?
I just feel like last year they had James trying to do too much. And, like, even though I think he's a great player, I just think that he needs somebody else who's going to be able to hit the shots, move the ball, and play with the ethic that he does. Not to say that he didn't have good players, but I think that Chris Paul just brings something to the game that other people don't have.
I hope it doesn't work. But this is the reason why I don't think it'll work. I disagree with you, Destiny. Just because in Mike D'Antoni's system, you have to have a playmaker and you have to have a lot of spot-up shooters. Chris Paul has to have the ball in his hands a lot, not a great spot-up shooter. James Harden is the same way. Wow, it'll work if James Harden can learn how to spot-up shoot without doing all the dribbling and stuff. I think it could work, but on offensive end, I don't think it's going to work because of that. And defensively, they don't have any defense. None.
The X factor may be they're trying to bring in Carmelo Anthony. Will that make a difference?
That'll help them out. It'll help them out some more on the offensive end, but once again, defensively, no defense.
Yeah.
We all just got messages.
Yep.
Well, in today's NBA, do you really need to play defense? Are you guys watching the Summer League? There's been no defense being played in the Summer League whatsoever.
No, it hasn't.
At all.
It hasn't.
Defense wins games, and I don't think people understand that.
But it feels as though, like, the commissioner and Adam Silver, they want people to watch, and people don't want to watch people play defense. They don't want to watch New Jersey and San Antonio in the finals. You guys probably don't remember that, but it was a clutch and grab, 79-75. A lot of games were in the finals, and they were scoring that at halftime in the games. Now, every team in the league averaged over 100 points, and that's not how it has been for the last 20 or 30 years in the NBA. Do you guys think that's a good thing for basketball?
I think it's a great thing for basketball, but when it comes down to winning a championship, when it comes down to winning playoff games, you have to make defensive stops. So, case in point, just watching Golden State lock in, like Kevin Durant, like, even though I don't like him being on Golden State at all, but he raised his level of defense. He became like their rim protector.
He did. He turned into the 7-footer that he doesn't want to be listed as.
Right, exactly. So, and that made all of the difference.
It did. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk some more with the Lady Cougars. Stay with us. More after break.
Broadcasting from the Score On Air studios at the Ohio Media School in Columbus, Ohio. Your home for all the latest sports news and talk. ScoreOnAir.com. The Score.
Are you a sports fan? Do you have a mobile phone? Great, that's all you need to stay up to date with ScoreOnAir.com, the new generation of sports talk radio, with original talk shows starting every 2 hours, covering every sport from every angle.
From basketball
to hockey
to martial arts.
Fantasy football.
We cover all Ohio sports. Just go to ScoreOnAir.com or download the TuneIn Radio app and search Score On Air. You'll be part of the action in no time. Whether you're stuck in traffic, at the grocery store, studying at the library, anywhere for that matter. Tune in anytime to get your sports fix. Follow us on social media or go to ScoreOnAir.com for even more original content, including play-by-play of local high school and college games, sports articles, and podcasts. ScoreOnAir.com is your home for the best analysis, coverage, and lukewarm sports takes. The best part, we're broadcasting live right here in Columbus.
OH.
ScoreOnAir.com, the new generation of sports talk radio.
The Score.
NWA Midwest Championship Wrestling is looking for interns. Have you heard of Ric Flair? Well, this is the company that brought you Ric Flair before he went to the WWE, and we're looking for interns to work behind the scenes hand in hand with production, with audio, with video, and with podcasts and radio. Contact Damon Dury, the big dog, at 740-971-3968.
The Be On Air Network, bringing you the best of the best in internet radio from across the country. From Miami to Denver to Chicago and Cleveland. You'll hear all the top shows from all of our college stations. For more information on the Ohio Media School, go to BeOnAir.com. Be On Air Network, bringing you the best college radio has to offer.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
The new generation of sports talk radio. Here's your ScoreOnAir.com Score Center update.
Gordon Hayward made his decision to leave the Utah Jazz final yesterday, announcing that he will sign with the Boston Celtics. The small forward will sign a 4-year deal of $128 million with a player option in the final year. Hayward confirmed his intent to sign in a piece he wrote for the Players Tribune. The Cleveland Indians dropped the San Diego Padres 1-0 yesterday at Progressive Field. Corey Kluber set a club record with 10 strikeouts in 8 innings, making him the only Tribe pitcher to strike out 10 or more batters in 5 consecutive games. However, the offense couldn't give him the support he needed, so he took the loss, making him 7-3 on the season. The Tribe will face the Padres again tonight in Cleveland. Trevor Bauer is on the mound for the Indians. First pitch is at 7:10. Watch that game on Sports Time Ohio. And Joey Chestnut won the annual Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest on Coney Island yesterday. Chestnut set a record by scarfing 72 dogs with buns in 10 minutes to capture his 10th mustard belt in the last 11 years. His performance was impressive, and he credits that to his training.
I have to treat competitive eating like a sport. It's not just going to a buffet. I'm not a buffet buster. I train, I fast, I really take my practices and try to figure out how to improve. Yeah, I make my body work for me, and I've been really lucky with how it's performed.
This has been Monger Squiz with your Score Center update for July 5th, 2017. For all the latest news, scores, and updates, keep it locked right here on ScoreOnAir.com.
With my girl in yellow.
Live mics.
And we live, baby.
Yes, we are. And we have a lot of talented basketball players in the room right now. But I learned that we also have a possible prospective student here at the Ohio Media School, Kate, the video editor and producer. How did you get into that? How did you develop an interest in that?
This might be like corny, but I used to watch tons of YouTube videos. I used
Okay.
to want to be a YouTuber, you
Okay.
know, make money, have fun. But honestly, because I like document a lot of my life, especially with like Snapchat, like literally everything's on my phone. And then one day I just like, I want to make a big video. And then I just figured out I was good at it. And it's just something I love to do. So like, I have friends who go on trips, send me videos, and I'll make something for them, and they love it. So it's just
What do you
fun.
use to make it? What editing software do you use?
I use Wondershare on my MacBook,
Okay.
and it's pretty nice.
I've never heard of that. So is it like pretty close to like, have you ever used any of the Adobe Suite?
Yes, I use that, and I also use another software app on my computer, but I don't like it as much because the one I bought, I had to buy a license to do it. So I feel pretty official now.
You
got the
are.
license.
You are. You got a driver's license
Yeah, I got that too.
and a license.
You know, we out here. Making moves every day.
White chocolate.
Well, we have all of that, all the capabilities to do all of those things and more. I feel you. I'm a big time editor in terms of sound as well as video. And it's really one thing that I thought was interesting. And they teach you all about that when you come here. You take the radio and television course. They teach you the history behind everything. And what I thought was cool is how it used to be. It was literally, first of all, video editing used to be considered a woman's job. And the reason is because it was actually taking and cutting the film and like sewing it together. That's how it was done back in the day. And so once it became like more digital, then men felt more comfortable not with the sewing machines and things of that nature. So that's a little bit of the history I thought was interesting. And I always think of it like that because even though it's on a computer, it still is. You're just taking the film and you're cutting it and you're splicing it together. That's what editing is, right?
Cooking it up in the kitchen.
It takes a lot of work too.
It does. It does.
Hour, 2 hours just to edit like 1-minute videos. Like, it's time.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those who's like, every single frame has to be perfect.
Yes, like especially those splits where you gotta split the video, make it fast into a slow moment to have,
Okay,
and it has to match the beat too, so it flows consistently together. Then you gotta have like the filters so it flows.
But
like,
what are you gonna do when you're on deadline and you don't have time to do all that stuff?
you make it work.
Okay. All right. Well, I wish you have the right mentality and the right mindset to be successful in this business. There's definitely jobs for it. How do you feel about making like highlight reels?
I think that's fun too, cause like I know people get excited to watch their highlight tapes, cause soon as somebody gets it, it's all over Twitter, Instagram, any social media platform you can think of, cause you're making something special for somebody else that can possibly help them be a prospect for a good school. So
Absolutely.
Technically helping them out, get their name out there.
Absolutely. So, just a few questions about you as a player, since we are talking about basketball. What position do you play, and who do you model your game after?
I model my game after Kobe, the
Oh,
Black Mamba.
Okay.
You know, right.
So we got like a couple scorers sitting there on that same mic right there, basically. Like,
You heard me?
like,
It's a pretty nice group of us here.
Gang, gang.
what if you had to like? Could you consider yourselves a scoring duo? Because we got a point guard, we got a center, we got our wings. There's a trio. We got a forward in here.
It's just like a.
It's a whole
we
family.
need. We're a big family. We like.
Okay.
We have people in Kentucky who we're in a group chat with. We can't wait for her to come down so we can build a chemistry with them. Savannah, we want her out here more so we can build more chemistry with her. Like, a lot of the team hasn't had a chance yet to all work together as one because not everybody has been coming. Like, we're just waiting for that, and once we all connect and know who's good at what, it's just going to be a consistent flow on the court, and you're going to see magic happen.
Speaking of magic, Savannah,
Come on, Savannah.
the point guard.
There you go.
Now, I read somewhere that you're interested in becoming an educator. Is that correct? You wanted to be a teacher? Did I read that somewhere?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
It's past tense.
Yeah.
So what is it now?
I'm gonna be an ultrasound tech.
All right, so what inspired that change? That's a heck of a jump.
Well, I did want to be a teacher, but I babysit a lot.
Ooh.
Kids get on my nerves.
As they should. Yeah, they do.
I don't want to be a teacher anymore. Hope they know this.
Hey, listen, sometimes things in life reveal things about us.
Truth.
Maybe that was one of those times. So we hear that, Savannah, you're fairly soft-spoken. So as the point guard out there on the court, what's your leadership style?
I do talk on the court more
Okay.
than I talk in person, but yeah.
All right. So final question. I have this question for you. When you are playing and you are handling the ball and it's a pick and roll situation, what is your goal? What are you going into as the ball handler? What is it that you're trying to get out of that situation? So it's you're handling the ball, and let's say we're at the top of the key, and Lyric comes up and sets a high pick for you. So it's a pick and roll situation, and let's say you have Destiny on the wing, spotted up, and so you're coming off. You have a spot up shooter. You're coming off. You're dribbling with your right hand. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
All right. So you're dribbling with your right hand, and you're coming off the right side off a Lyric's pick, and on the right wing, you got a score, a spot up shooter in Destiny. What are you thinking about? What are you trying to do in that situation as the point guard?
I will look for my roller first, and if she's not there, then I'll pass it out to the shooter. And if that's not there, then I'll look for myself or anybody else.
What are the defender like? Okay, so if the defense, if they both come to you, then what do you do?
Both of the defenders?
Both of the defenders come to you, yes.
Yeah, I look for my roller.
Okay. Roller's covered, then what? Because there's a rotation. So they came to you, roller's covered because there's a rotation. Now what? Because you got a spot up shooter on the right, they covered your roller, that's on your left. So now they rotated from the left. Now what?
Give it to my shooter.
The shooter's covered because the shooter's on your right. I feel it. It's
making you sweat.
Yeah. I want it. Yeah, I want the pressure on right now is to see how you respond. It's okay. We can grow with this, and it's all right. I mean, I feel it. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
So, Destiny, in that situation, you're spotted up. All right. What do you do to get open in that situation? You just gonna stand there?
Actually, my coach AJ, just taught me Saturday. He said that I need to cut down and make a V and then curl up to the top. Most likely when I get to the top, I'm going to look for my shot first, but then I'm going to triple threat and take it to the basket, and some type of move is going to get me there or get a foul, and I'm going to the line and I'm knocking them down.
There you have it, folks.
Straight up.
There you have it.
Shout
T.
out to Coach AJ.
Yeah, shout out to Coach AJ. T.
Who couldn't be here, you feel me?
You kind of quiet over here, and you got a couple scores, and you said it's a family, and you got everything coming together. What do you envision your role being this year on the team?
Whatever coach want me to be.
Okay.
If I'm a big, then I'm a big. If I'm a shooter, I'm a shooter. It's wherever coach teach me how to be and wherever he put me.
That's an outstanding attitude to have. What are the most comfortable areas on the floor for you to score?
Oh, I like to shoot.
Okay.
Coach working on my handles though. He getting me right. I'll be a whole new player in August. Just wait on it. But just going to open gyms and team practices, stuff like that, and just working hard and persevering even through the pain. It's just like learning to work hard, basically.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. We are going to go ahead and take a break, but we're going to talk about some of that pain and some of that hard work. We have one more segment to go on this hour with the 2017 Lady Cougar basketball team and Coach Allgood et al. So stay with us for more Let That Sink In on the other side.
This is Reflog 18, and you are listening to Score on Air.
Hey guys, Matty Ice here, proud alum of the Ohio Media School. Get the training you need to get a job you will love. The Ohio Media School has classes in radio, television, sports broadcasting, and film and video production. Visit beonair.com today to get started. That's beonair.com.
What's good, Big Game James?
How you feeling, D.O. Jr.?
My guy, I'm super excited. High school sports is starting back, man.
Man, I'm even more excited because we got this new show starting. Tell the people what we doing, D.O. Jr.
Man, we starting the Central Ohio High School Showcase, the COHSS.
That's right. We're covering football, basketball, baseball, soccer, volleyball, and track and field. If it's in season, we own it.
Hey, you know we do this for the kids, man. You can listen live by going to scoreonair.com via the TuneIn app or watch us streaming live by going to the Score On Air YouTube channel,
the COHSS. Giving you nothing less, showcasing Central Ohio's best.
I'm Jake Safranco with your Sports Doc Minute, brought to you by the OHSAA and the Ohio Media School. Now here's the Sports Doc, Dr. Chris Stankovich.
When we think of athletes like Derek Jeter, Kobe Bryant, or Tom Brady, often the first word that comes to mind is clutch. These are the types of athletes who seem to perform their best when the pressure is on. Did you know that clutch athletes aren't necessarily born that way? But what separates them from the competition is that clutch players are not afraid to fail. That's the biggest difference. In fact, they want the ball when the game is on the line. You know, in order to really solidify this point, you might want to go back to an old Michael Jordan commercial where he talked about not how many shots he made when the game was on the line, but how many times he missed. So it's important that we note, in order to perform our best in clutch situations, we have to want the ball in those situations, and we cannot be afraid to fail. Otherwise, we will fail in clutch situations.
This has been your Sports Doc Minute, brought to you by the OHSAA and the Ohio Media School. Enrolling now, visit beonair.com.
The Score wants to make you, you, a winner. Each week, scoreonair.com is giving away a prize pack that'll knock your socks off.
Ouch, hey, that hurt.
How? First of all, like us on Facebook, and every Monday we will pin up a post to the top of our feed, updating you on what the week's prize and contest details are. Now here, take your socks back. A winner will be selected every week at 7 p.m. Friday on our combat sports show, Tyson's Punch-Out. So give us a call or text to get qualified. This is your home for the new generation of sports talk radio and weekly prize giveaways. Here's how to qualify. Message us on Facebook at Your Score on Air or Twitter, also at Your Score on Air with your name, phone number, email, and date of birth. Or you can just simply call or text any of our live shows at 614-641-0674 and tell them you want to qualify to win T-shirts, sporting memorabilia, and more. This is your home for the new generation of Sports Talk Radio and weekly prize giveaways. ScoreOnAir.com. The Score. The Ohio Media School wants you to be part of the first ever Mastermind Exhibition on August 17th, 2017 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the Columbus campus. We are teaming up with experts in radio, television, and digital media to help you identify, entertain, and leverage an audience to promote your personal brand. This year's theme is BYOA, Bring Your Own Audience. Don't miss the first ever Mastermind Exhibition on August 17th, 2017 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Ohio Media School.
Have that one.
I went to
He's hard for
criminal justice class, the speech class.
That's sleazy. A necklace made of himself.
Yes, go to lyric.
Oh, and we live, baby. It sound like we live in here.
We sure are.
Peter Piper.
Hey, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Shout out to my coaching staff, Coach Ernest Bell. Again, Coach AJ, who's not here right now. I also want to give a shout out to my son, Evan, my daughter, Kamura, and my wife, Shelly, for letting me come out here and spend some time with my second family.
Whoop, whoop.
Cougar Nation out here.
Yes.
So, Lyric.
Big baby.
I heard that, you felt a little bit left out over the last couple segments. So, if you're on Brittany Griner's level at this point, that means that I can put you down for 5 dunks this season, correct?
Wrong.
So more than that.
No.
Yes.
Can you dunk?
No.
How close are you to dunking?
Well, not that close.
Okay. What is your favorite move in the post? Like what are you trying to get to when you're in the post?
Well, I learned this move from Kyrie. He faked right.
All right, so take the mic and move a little bit closer. There you go.
Okay.
And it's right in front of your mouth. There you go. All right, go ahead.
I learned this move from Kyrie. He faked left and then spent around the defender and made a layup.
Why are you a post player learning moves from a guard?
He was down there.
Are you trying to throw shade at Kyrie?
Well, I mean, there are some attributes that physically make you a little bit more prone to be successful in the post, and guards don't necessarily, they have them. Quickness is important, but the size with the quickness is what is important. And so I just asked that, because I hearken to other big men that I admire. Shaquille O'Neal, ever heard of him?
Yeah. Black mom.
Well, there's some interesting things about Shaq that are interesting. Who didn't like each other?
Shaq and Kobe, they got into it.
But still, they worked together on the court.
I mean, on the court, but they had issues.
That's like Westbrook and KD.
Issues.
But is it like Westbrook and KD because they were able to win championships despite? And really, what they were doing, they were just fighting to see who was the alpha dog, who was going to be the leader of the team.
Westbrook didn't know his place. Period.
Are you trying to throw shade at Westbrook?
I am. I love Westbrook as a player. I think that now it's his team, but he didn't understand that it was Kevin's team, and that's why Kevin had to take his talents elsewhere.
And so, how do you see Paul George and Westbrook working out there?
I don't.
I don't
see anybody working well with Westbrook because he's just not that type of person. This is my team. Yeah. I do what I want. It's me against everybody.
But even that being if it is your team, then guess what? When y'all don't win, it's on you.
It's your fault. Yeah.
And so, yeah. Now, I will say this. What could have been in Oklahoma City if they did not decide to pay Serge Ibaka instead of James Harden?
Man.
I was just talking about that earlier.
The big three.
With Coach AJ. I saw an old picture of them. Actually, it was Mr. Lawrence, our assistant athletic director. We were talking about that earlier. We saw an old picture of Serge, KD, Westbrook, and Harden.
Like, wow.
Man, if they'd have found a way, even get rid of Serge,
found
a way to keep those three together, oh my goodness.
And a lot of people feel like, oh, well, James Harden wouldn't develop. He would develop just fine because the ball would have been in his hands. He's the best distributor out of the two of them, and it would have been a problem.
Agreed.
Disagree.
And, well, you look at the GM there in Sam Presti, and you say, oh, man, he did a heck of a job in terms of things. I questioned how good of a job he did because he did, in fact, trade James Harden erroneously. But then he kind of made up for it with this whole Paul George thing and getting him for like nothing with Oladipo and Sabonis. I mean, straight up.
Paul George makes up for James Harden?
It kind of does.
I don't know what world you're in.
If you get him for nothing, if you get him
Paul George is a good player, but he's not a James Harden. Like, he's not a game winner. I don't see him hit the big shots for real.
He doesn't.
That's true.
Like, he's not a James Harden. Like, James Harden is James Harden. But Paul George, he's definitely good. He's going to make a good contribution if Westbrook allows that.
And they only have him for a year.
Yeah, like
no, I don't want him in the Lakers. I don't want him as a Laker. I'm good.
As a Laker, I think he'll do pretty well.
Oh, come on.
Laker Nation.
We got to get the new generation. Brand
You're not a Lakers fan for real.
Yeah, I don't need them about that, bro. I need you to be about them rings, player.
So, I mean, what team do you like?
I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah, no.
So then why don't you?
George.
I don't because I like our young nucleus. I like the young
I do.
guys that we have.
I like the youth, but I think they need somebody a little older to help
like
mellow out the new tactics that they
bring
use.
some wisdom. That's what you can do.
Paul George brings the old flavor.
Vince Carter signing in Sacramento. He's not signing there to play. He's signing there to be a veteran leader. And that's why I say he getting a check.
Yep.
He getting that check. He getting some of this
that new money.
That new money. That new money. Him and Zach Randolph in Sacramento. And so they're phrasing it as it's veteran leadership, and they're trying to kind of copy the model that they did in Memphis. And they have a very solid program there. So hey, we'll see what happens. Coach Dave Yeager, formerly in Memphis. We'll see how that develops. But one thing, they were talking to Vince Carter. He's 40 years old and just signed this 1-year deal with the Sacramento Kings. And they asked him, you're there to be a veteran leader. What exactly are you going to impart on the young players? And what he said really stuck out to me. He just said basically it's this. It's about your willingness to do it. That's really what it is. There's so many things out there, but it's just about your willingness to get out there and do what it takes to be successful out there on the court. And at age 40, he still has the willingness to do that. And so at your young age, or half his age, think about the effort that you could put in. Because it made me think about the effort that I could put in. And the extra effort that I put forward today made this show better. So let that sink in. We got a few minutes left. We got 2 minutes left. Any more shout outs? Anything else? Because I can just bring up another topic. We'll talk about that.
New topic.
Yeah, you could do that.
New topic?
Yeah.
New topic.
The Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's talk local.
Oh, God.
No. Kyrie.
Do the Cavs have a chance to win a championship this season?
Always.
I mean, they have a chance,
What?
but that don't mean it's going to happen.
I don't know. I just think that they needed to clear up some cap space to get somebody that was going to stop the Warriors. Like, you're talking about KD, Curry, Clay, Iguodala, Draymond.
Curry with dreads.
Livingston.
He's growing dreads, in case you missed that.
Serious?
I'm serious. He's got him twisted up on.
I know. Like, he does look a little different. But, like, you're just talking about, like, a team that has a solid, like, 7 or 8 players that can go.
Yes.
And when you talk about the Cavs, like, you don't have a solid 7 or 8. Like, look at the playoffs. Tristan Thompson, what was going on? Like, we don't know. The Kardashian curse. I mean, Kyrie definitely stepped up. LeBron does his thing every year. But when you talking about players, Korver, inconsistent. Tristan,
needed you to hit one shot, Korver.
That's what I'm saying.
Couldn't do
Like,
it.
they had too many inconsistencies. And then
Don't
you
forget
got
Darren Williams.
Oh, yep.
Airball.
Like, you got the inconsistencies on top of everyone's not playing defense, on top of, like, just LeBron shooting threes all of a sudden. Like,
it's tough when you have to
some
rely
of
on
these, some of them
Korver to play
shots they
defense.
took were just not right. And then they couldn't stop everybody. Like, you stop Curry, then you got KD. You stop KD, you got Clay. You stop Clay, you got Draymond. It just, the list goes on. It's not a good look.
And then, like, J.R. Smith, who showed up one game out of
one.
Like,
He started shooting from half court.
like, you know, he hitting or whatever. But
Who
it's
knows
just,
what
like,
drug he was on that
it's
night.
too late. It's too late for that now. Like, we basically done lost now. Why you want to come up in the, like, you know, game where we about to, you know, basically get
man, shout out to
smashed.
JR, though. JR is hard.
You can't shout him out just because you think he's cute.
Nah, I don't think he cute. He's a good basketball player to me when he decides that he wants to play.
Shout out to them threes that you randomly hit.
When he decides to show up, he's really a good player.
This is true.
I think, personally, that was part of the problem. They were, like, JR, Tristan, they signed those big contracts. They got their ring.
And did
they
nothing.
were
they lost their
celebrating all
the willingness to do it.
Yep. And they were just kind of like, yeah, we're at the top of the mountain. We don't have to work as hard.
Complacent.
It was really Kyrie and LeBron, and then it was just like the rest.
And
of
the rest of the
Cleveland
guys.
Cavaliers.
But I think like I think they need to just have more of a centered play. Because I feel like they run everything around either LeBron or Kyrie, and that's the problem. Like, even whether they win or lose, it's all on LeBron. But LeBron wasn't the one who hit that game-winning shot last year. Like, everyone talks about the block, but we're not talking about the shots that were made. LeBron is supposed to score 30 to 40 points. That's what you do. It's what you have to do over what that you do on a normal. That makes it something important. Like, this year, he averaging a triple-double in the playoffs. Okay, like, that's over and beyond what you do, and that's why you should get celebrated this year. But it's like, if everybody can do that and put forth that effort, it'd be great. But running everything through LeBron doesn't work because he's just doing what he wants to do instead of doing what he needs to do to make the team better.
It's pretty good analysis.
It is.
Their offense is definitely stagnant. It's either pick and roll LeBron, pick and roll Kyrie, ISO LeBron, ISO Kyrie.
Yeah. I mean,
Only
Kyrie,
time they ran plays was out of timeouts.
And if you look at Golden State, like, KD came and they still had plays for everybody. Like, everybody had where they shoot, everybody.
This is true.
They strengths and their weaknesses, but like
it goes through everyone.
Yeah, like and they came together as a team, whether they had a new player or not. So that's how you're supposed to do.
So on that note, I think the moral of the story is you guys should listen to Coach Allgood because the coach is important if you want to win a championship. Because everything we're talking about here, those faults with the Cavs, that's on Ty Lue. Them not running plays, that's on Ty Lue. Them not running things, letting the players run things on the court, that's Ty Lue. So we're out of time, but I really appreciate you guys coming in here. Outstanding conversation, and you're welcome here anytime. Make sure you sign the door before you leave.
Yes, remember the name, man.
We famous.
And we out.
Just look for us.
You heard me.
You'll see the games. We broadcast, live stream the games. So coming this winter, you will see these ladies out on the court, whooping butt, taking names. That's all we have tonight for Let That Sink In. Holler at your boy.
Broadcasting from the Score On Air studios at the Ohio Media School in Columbus, Ohio. Your home for all the latest sports news and talk. ScoreOnAir.com. The Score.
The Be On Air Network, bringing you the best of the best in internet radio from across the country. From Miami to Denver to